how to use private money for real estate. Getting private money is one thing. Using it right, that's another. Misuse it and you'll burn bridges fast. Use it well and you will never run out of capital. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to structure private money to fund your flips safely. By the end of this video, you're gonna know how to deploy capital the right way so you keep your lenders happy and your deals profitable. The common question that I get is, well, what are the terms? How do I set up my private lender? Are they a partner? Are they a lender? What are the rates? What are the fees? Here's the truth. Everything is 100% negotiable between you and the private lender. If it's a hard money lender, they have a hard and fast set of rules you have to live within. When it's a private lender, you and the private lender come up with the entire structure by yourself. So what kind of structures are there? There are really two kinds of structures with the private lender. One is a pure lender-based relationship where they lend you money and you pay them interest on the money for the amount of time that you use it. The second is more of an equity split or a partnership with a lender. I think of that more like a partnership than a lender, and let me tell you why. A lender takes a percentage, let's say it's 10% on the money that you borrow for the length of time that you borrow the money for. So, for easy math, if you borrowed $100,000 from a private lender and you held that house for 12 months at 10%, they would receive $10,000 in interest whether you made money or whether you didn't make money on the deal. However, a partner or an equity split partner on the deal would give you the money for the deal and then you guys would split the profit together. In that scenario, if you borrowed $100,000 and let's say your profit was $50,000, that's what you should probably target on any flip. Then at the closing table, you'd receive $25,000 in profit and your partner would receive $25,000 in profit. In my opinion, that's a very expensive partner to have and you may not want their 2 cents in what you're doing on your deal. So they are very different structures. I think it's just important to be very clear on that when you walk into a partnership. Sometimes people think that they are an owner of the property with you, and I have to be very clear and say, no, you're a lender to us. We own the property. If you keep that distinction clear, I think you're going to be much more profitable in your business. Okay, so there are pros and cons to both models. In the lender model, if you lose money on the flip, guess what? You are still liable to pay the lender their percentage. If you held that house for 18 months because you couldn't sell it, you made lots of mistakes and you screwed it up and you got sick and stubbed your toe and blah, 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 all the different problems, and contractor problems, which you're probably going to have, by the way. If you want to avoid those, make sure you check out our channel. We have a lot of awesome videos on how to avoid those problems. But if the problems arise and it makes it so you are not profitable, you are still going to owe that lender the percentage for the amount of time you borrowed that money. However, in the flip model, where the partner is someone that takes part in the upside, if you were to lose $10,000 in that flip, well, per a partnership agreement, they would also lose that money. So if you lost $10,000, you and the partner would split the losses of $5,000. So it can minimize your loss, but it also minimizes your gain. I hope that makes sense. So when you work with a hard money lender, they're going to loan you a percentage of the purchase price and then a percentage, they can also go up to 100% of the renovation costs on a property. However, when you work with a private lender, I'm going to encourage you to structure it so you get all your money up front if the lender is comfortable with you doing that, because it's much easier with you for cash flow, meaning you're going to borrow the purchase price and the renovation costs up front. And if you have a really good relationship, maybe you can borrow an extra 10% to cover your cash flow needs throughout the entire project. If you do that and have that kind of relationship, your future is unlimited as a flipper. But there are some caveats to this. You have to make sure that you have separate banking accounts. You have to have a business account and a personal account. Never mix your personal funds with the business funds. I don't care if you have bills to pay. If you have to transfer money between accounts, you have to do an actual transfer and show that you are loaning the company money or the company is loaning you money. But I would stay away from loaning yourself money during a flip. You can get in trouble, and if a lender decides to audit your books because they suspect something is going on, you could be in trouble for commingling funds. So keep separate records. Use a software like QuickBooks. Track all of your expenses. If you are not very organized and you want to use a shoebox, you certainly can, but I'm going to ask you to treat your business like you're a professional real estate investor and use QuickBooks. Hire a part-time or a VA bookkeeper, and every day when you come home with different receipts, you give those receipts to your bookkeeper, let them enter it in QuickBooks so you know exactly where you stand. It'll also help you know exactly how much money you're spending on the flip. I can't tell you how many new flippers screw this up. They get done and say, I'm going to make $50,000, $70,000, and they flip the house and say, I made $12,000. Say, what happened? I don't know. I just kept doing the flip. Well, if you know how much you're spending, you're going to make much different decisions along the way. If you're getting low on money, you'll make different decisions. Think of it like this. Your toothpaste. When you use toothpaste, you get a new tube of toothpaste. What do? You usually put a lot on that toothpaste. You're like, oh yeah, I got a new toothpaste. I'm good to go. And you use that. When you start getting towards the end of the toothpaste tube, what do? Use less and less, right? Because you want to stretch it out. If you use that same concept in real estate investing and budgeting your money, you will put a tremendous amount more in your pocket at the end of the flip if you're not spending frivolously in the very early days. Always make sure with a private lender that you secure their money with a mortgage, with a note. It might be called a deed of trust in your state, just depends. You have to find that out in your local area. And you want to have them listed as an additional insured on the insurance policy. So when any catastrophe happens, they're fully covered. Pay your interest reliably. If your deal with a private lender, not a partner, but a private lender, which I recommend, is to pay them monthly, you have that set up on auto pay and you pay that monthly on the agreed day every single month and do not miss it. That's how you build integrity and build a strong business. Better yet for you, if you can pay all the interest at the end when you sell the house, that's a better deal for you. That's how we structure 90% of our deals, because when you start paying monthly checks for interest, it can impact your cash flow pretty significantly if you're doing multiple deals. So most lenders, we say, listen, if you loan us $200,000 and we're loaning, we're going to pay you 12% interest, we'll pay you as soon as we flip the house. We'll give you a lump sum at the time of closing. If they'll agree to that, that's a better deal for you. With private lenders, long-term relationships really matter. You don't want to do the work to build a relationship with a private lender and then have to go do it again, job after job after job. You want to have one person or two people or three people that can loan you money on a repeat basis, right? So you have to do it right. What we do in our business is we give them statements every month. Now, I'm not saying you're at the level where you want to do that, but give them statements every month. That's what we do to show them how much interest they're earning. But in lieu of statements, give them progress photos. Send them out photos so they know exactly what's happening on the job, so they have some idea. They have a vested interest in seeing what's happening on the project. Keep them included as much as they want to be included, so that you can build that long-term relationship and they can see that you're really doing well with their money. And make sure you have a professional help you with all of the paperwork. Listen, have a lawyer, have a title company. Have these professionals in place to help you be an actual professional so that they know that you are a serious business owner. Look, you're borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars from them typically. You want to make sure that you act like you deserve it. Using private money starts with finding the right properties. Go check out my next video, the crucial step new investors always miss, where I'm going to teach you how to build a buy box, because once you build a buy box and know exactly what you're going to buy, you will be amazed at the amount of money that will come your way once you have the confidence knowing that you're buying the right kind of property. Go check out the video now, it's right here.